Hi, it's Layton. Today I'm going to be doing my wedding makeup for you. So first I'm going to be using my Missha BB Cream in the shade 21. And it's actually a funny story. When I was getting my makeup done for my wedding, they used like a spray foundation. And when I got out into the daylight, I noticed it looked extremely orange on my fair skin, so I basically wiped it all off and got back to the venue and put my own makeup on. So I used this BB cream, which it actually looked really beautiful in photos. And then for my concealer, I used 2 shades of the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I used shade Vanilla and Chantilly. And if you see me looking away, it's because I'm looking into the viewfinder for the mirror. So I basically just did a triangle under each eye, and I took that a little bit onto my nose, up past my eye. Since this is such a light BB cream underneath, I felt comfortable using more of a full coverage concealer and really highlighting the areas that I wanted. And I'm just gonna dot that there because I have a bit of a couple blemishes that I want covered. And I went around my mouth where there's some shadows, and basically going outwards here onto my cheek has really does a good job of flattening that area and getting rid of those lines right there. So I'm just gonna blend that out real quick. Yeah, like the lady who did my makeup also did my hair, and she did a phenomenal job on my hair, but the makeup was just the wrong shade entirely, and I don't even know how that happened because we were in daylight when she was doing it, so I still don't know how that happened, but oh well, you live and learn. I should have just done it myself from the start. There was no, I should have just trusted myself to be able to do it. All right, now that that is blended in, I'm gonna actually go in with the lighter shade, Chantilly, just to highlight a bit more underneath the eyes, because I really had kind of a brightened under eye look that day. I'm just blending that out again. And this looked really, really well, like this photographed really well. Okay, and then for powder, I'm just gonna use this Charlotte Tilbury powder. I can't remember which one I used on my wedding day, so I'm just gonna have to use this one. And I believe it's in the shade Fair, or 1. And I'm just kind of setting that concealer down. So concentrating it in the places where I put the most concealer, under my eyes, my forehead, down my T-zone and around my mouth. All right. And then for bronzer, I actually used this brand called Everyday Minerals. So it's this one right here. And it is called Lanai in the Sand is the bronzer. So it looks kind of like this. It's a loose powder bronzer that's just like a very neutrally shade. But I found that it is the most just flattering and natural looking bronzer. And we had a winter wedding, so I didn't need to look super tanned or summery. I just wanted to use a nice natural bronze. And I found that loose formulas tend to be a little bit more forgiving as well. The only one that I think has come close to be quite as forgiving is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. That one is, for a pressed powder, it is very forgiving. Just going underneath. And I went a little bit on my nose. Just enough to kind of sweep it across my cheeks. There we go. And then for blush, I also used the same brand, Everyday Minerals. I used their loose powder blush in Sweet Coral, but I could not find that one today, so I'm just going to use this one. It's called Girl's Best Friend. It's basically the same shade. It's a very kind of peachy pink. And it is definitely one of my favorites. It always looks very natural and very kind of lit within. And I really like their packaging. I don't usually have an issue with spilling, even though it is a loose formula. And again, just kind of bringing that across my face. And I was really like putting layers of bronzer and blush on to make sure that it would show up in the photos. Okay. Then for my eyes, I actually used this Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Lightning Bug, which is like a really pretty, sorry, it was kind of a glare, kind of a burnt orange color, which looks gorgeous against blue eyes or green eyes. But especially against blue eyes, it's very, very flattering. I am just going to use my mirror here to look, because this is a little harder to do. And then actually, I'm gonna take this paper towel just to get a more precise line. Do this right here. And this is like a, one of their, I think, glitter or ultra glitter formulas. So it has a nice sheen, and then it has a beautiful like micro glitter on top. So it's this orangey color and then like a beautiful gold glitter on top. And I just put that on my lid and all over my lid, or my upper lid. And I did use a similar method to make kind of a sharper line, because I wanted it to look kind of more winged out. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just look down real quick. And I'm kind of stamping it on the outer corner. Then bringing it in. This shadow has dried up a little bit. It used to be a little bit more creamy, but it's dried up a teensy bit. I need to repurchase it. That's the thing, I love these shadows, but they do tend to dry up after a certain amount of time. Because normally there is not any fallout whatsoever, but I'm getting a tiny bit right now, just because it is drier. There we go. And I'm actually just going to go right back into this side and do a little bit more in the outer corner. then to deepen up the crease, I use a little bit of this MAC Single Shadow in Soba. And I'm just going to do the same technique where I am using this paper towel to kind of keep this line sharp. And I'm only doing this part in the outer crease, or the outer corner of my crease. So that way it just deepens it up. It doesn't really change the hue of the eyeshadow underneath because it is such a warm brown. Because I want to keep that orangey vibrancy throughout my eyes. I really am just using this brown for a little bit more shadow, so that way it looks like a natural shadow. Just stamping that. Yeah, so you can see it's just a little bit more defined. And if you need to clean it up a little bit, just kind of do that. Yep. And then I went in just with my finger and kind of dotted this on as well on the lid, so that was a little bit more vibrant. And I was doing this very hurriedly on my wedding day because we were running behind, and I was trying to make sure I was ready and that they weren't waiting on me. There we go. Yeah, so you can see it's quite vibrant. It's such a beautiful color, especially for, like I said, for blue or brown eyes. I mean, blue or green eyes. All right, and then for like an inner corner highlight, I used this one. It's Lunch Money by Colourpop. It's another one of their Super Shock formulas. And I just grabbed that on my finger, put that in the inner corner, and brought that up a little bit into my eye socket. And a little bit onto the inner lid. Just to kind of brighten that area. And I believe I used any excess and just put it underneath my eyes, or underneath my eyebrows, I mean. All right. And then for mascara, I used this Hourglass mascara right here. It's just a mini one right now that I have, but it's their Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara. And I really liked this one because it doesn't smudge. Sorry if you can hear my dogs, little pitter patter of their feet on the hardwood. I have two little dachshunds, so they just clickety clack on the hardwood constantly. All right, and we're gonna let that dry while I adjust before I fix it up, because there was a couple spots that I accidentally got onto my face. So in the meantime, I'm just going to do my brows. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 3.5, which is like a warm auburn. And I'm just filling in the sparse areas as well as accentuating the tail. And the same rule applies for eyebrows as it does mascara. If I make any mistakes, or maybe I added too much product, like I added a little dot right there accidentally, just gonna wait till it dries and then get a Q-tip and clean it all up. All right, and for my lips, I used this Lancôme liquid, I cannot remember what it's called actually. Oh, it's their L'Absolute Lacquer, I remember now. And this one is in the shade 274. Which is just a nice, warm, kind of brownie nude. We had a winter wedding, and then my colors were a little bit fall colored as well. So I just wanted kind of a nice nude color, or a nice brownie nude. Okay, just cleaning it up a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my Q-tip and fix those little areas. Preferably not poking yourself in the eye like I just did. And just fixing those couple of spots on my brows, as well as cleaning up the edges. All right. And then just taking one last look, making sure that what is that? I think it's just a bit of uneven texture. Just gonna take my brush and just wipe away any excess glitter that may have fallen onto my face. All right, and that is the finished look. So this is the makeup I wore on my wedding day. As you can see, it's just kind of a warm orangey tone on the eyes, and then like a neutral brown lip, clean, clear skin, kind of a soft glow from the bronzer and the blush. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.